Okay. Hey everybody, it's Selena. I just wanted to make this video real quick to explain everything that happened to me last week. Mostly so I can keep track of it. And also so I can explain it one more time and then not have to explain it over and over and over again to everybody who wants to know. Basically, what happened was I was really sick this last few months, starting in October. I got really weak. Walking around was really hard. It started off just like at a grocery store. By the time I got to the end of it, I would be a fat kid that just ran a whole mile, but I just walked from one end of the store to the other, and I had headaches and shortness of breath, and it was like I felt pain in my chest and my arms, like it was hard to move, do anything. It was really hard to explain because it was like everything hurts, and I thought it was my MS, and a lot of me was scared that I'm not doing it right. I'm not taking my medications. I'm doing everything I can. If I go to my neurologist, he's going to get upset with me because I didn't take care of myself and I did something wrong. And it just got worse and worse and worse. It started around October. And then I had to go to the bathroom a lot. Like number two, over and over and over. And it wasn't even the exaggeration, like 20 times a day. And it would have blood in the stool, and it wasn't that bad at first. I was just like, oh, look, a little blood, maybe I'm pushing too hard. It doesn't hurt though, so it's not gonna do anything about it. But they got worse and worse, and then chunks. I'm sorry, this is graphic, but there were chunks. It was hurting to go to the bathroom, and it was every 5 minutes. It was awful. I couldn't eat, and I would eat and then run to the bathroom every 2 minutes, and then it would hurt again, and I'd have to go. It was like a cramp that you go to the bathroom. It was awful because I couldn't function. I couldn't socialize. I couldn't go out. DeMarcus, my husband, had to cater to me, hand and foot, hand me everything, give me everything. Near the end of it, I was sitting in my bed all day, sleeping 16 hours a day because I was so tired and so exhausted, and everything was work. And it was like I was being lazy, and I was hating myself for it. And he had to hand me everything, and he had to watch me run back and forward to the bathroom every 5 minutes. And then in the last couple of days before I finally decided something was wrong with me, I wasn't able to eat anymore. I would eat I got chips from nachos from the store, and they were so good, and I wanted to eat them, but every time I took a few bites, my body would want to lurch it back up. And even if I did keep it down, I had to run to the bathroom, and it felt like I wasn't able to hold anything inside me anymore, and I was hungry and I was starving. I lost so much weight. I think I used to weigh like I was 210 pounds at one point. If any of you guys knew me like in high school, that's how much I used to weigh. I did lose a little weight on my own just from diet, and that was like, I think I lost down to 160, but by the time I was admitted into the hospital, it was 130. So I finally gave up fighting it, and I told my husband, I don't think I can make another day like this. I don't want to be dramatic, but I think I'm dying. And I went and told my mom, and she's like, no, let's go to the hospital. A lot of it was also like I don't have financials. I wasn't sure how we were going to pay for all this, but I did finally get government help, and that's just another thing that happened, and that's out of the way. But we did finally go to the emergency room, and I was worried a little bit because of my age, and they're like, oh, what hurts? Everything hurts. I think I'm dying. And that sounds like an excuse. That sounds like you're drug seeking. But the hospital was great. The staff was wonderful. They took me back. They're like, no, something's wrong with you. We can see it on your face. And it was obviously something bad enough that people on the streets were stopping me, because in the past few months I've had at least one old lady stop me and grab me and like, something's wrong, you don't look right, sweetie, you need this, the old Mexican lady thing that they do when they want to be all motherly. And even a lady, like when I was trying on clothes, she's like, you look tired. And I had slept 16 hours. It wasn't that I was tired, it was that I was sick apparently, and other humans could detect it somehow. And I think that's fascinating in another way. They're like, you look pale, when I was sitting on the gurney, because they started hooking everything up to me really quickly. Like, no, something's wrong with you. You don't look right. You're white as a ghost. And then they started the little heart monitor thing, and they're like, no, your heart isn't right. And then they took my blood, and they're like, you're not supposed to look like this. I'm like, what's wrong? They're like, you're severely anemic. And I was like, oh, I kind of knew I was a little anemic. I've been craving ice a lot. They're like, no, this is bad. Like, you feel like I felt like I was dying. They're like, no, you were dying. I was like, what? They were saying that your hemoglobin levels, my size, should be around 12, 13. Around 7 is when they start giving you a blood transfusion. I was at 4. So they were like, no, you weren't going to make it much longer. Honestly, you were dying. And I was like, really? The doctor was like, yeah, honestly, you wouldn't have made it much longer. I was like, how much longer what would have happened? I just sit in my room all day, sometimes by myself when my husband's at work. She's like, honestly, you should have came in sooner. It was really kind of bleak. And she's like, so first things first, we're going to take you up to the ICU. You need to go up to get blood transfusions. And that was the whole first 2 days was basically just blood bags getting pumped into me. I learned that I'm A positive blood type. And just to record that now, I remember, so I won't forget in case I need blood again. Yeah, they basically had to deal with that first. And then they were like, okay, so now we got to figure out why you're bleeding so much and where the blood came from. Because I did have blood in my stool, but it wasn't that much. We didn't understand where the blood ever ended up coming from. I guess I was just sick that long and ignored it for so long. I lost that much blood. And we ended up getting tests done. I had to get a procedure where they put me under and they had to put tubes in me, both ends. And turns out I have Crohn's disease. I've been diagnosed officially with Crohn's disease. And I did have an ulcer in my stomach. The ulcer was biopsied. We're still waiting on the results from that. Either it was, we don't know if it was stress, if it was the MS, but I did get an ulcer and it did exacerbate with my Crohn's disease, which inflamed my colon. If anyone knows anything about Crohn's disease, it's a colon, mostly your colon. I'm still learning to, because I just got diagnosed, but it's mostly my colon, and it was inflamed, and it made it hurt to go to the bathroom, and that's why there was blood, and that's why I was having a hard time, and then it made me anemic, and that's why I was walking around like a zombie. So, yeah, this is basically a new life change for me. Now I have to deal with that. They kept me observation for 3 days after they gave me corticosteroids to treat everything. Everything's back to normal. I feel better. They gave me the blood, so I'm moving around. I'm better. I do have, I'm still on the steroids. The steroids fixed my colon, the inflammation. Unfortunately, they caught the Crohn's too late. I'm a little bit past the original diagnosis since I do have the ulcer on there. And it did already have an attack. I have to deal with that. And I don't know what that means as far as my quality of life looking in the future. It used to be just like a pill, I hear, but the doctor did mention it's a little bit past that. It's advanced. So I do have a little bit of an advanced version of Crohn's that now I have to deal with Crohn's disease on top of my multiple sclerosis. So my quality of life is changing. I don't know what the future looks like, but I do know that we're trying to be positive about it. We're going to try to think good thoughts. I'm still really weak. I'm trying to walk around and clean and stuff, and I still stumble and fall and I hit my head because my body is physically not there yet. I can't lift very much more than 5 pounds, and I've tried and it doesn't look good. Everybody around me is like, oh, take it easy, go at your own pace. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I haven't been walking around for like months. It really has been months. I've been sleeping in the bed, just sitting there and doing nothing and just dying. I was sitting there dying. I was literally just waiting to die. And by, the grace of God and by my family, my husband and my mom jumped so fast into action. No, we need to take you into the doctor right now. Something's wrong with you. Every day, DeMarcus was begging me, please, I'll take you now. I'll take you to any emergency room. He had to deal with it, and I'm so guilty. I feel my feelings of guilt are unmeasurable. I know it's not my fault I have MS, and it's not my fault I have Crohn's. I didn't choose to get these diseases. They're incurable, and there's no rhyme or reason to get it. It's just I got it because I don't know. It's fate. And it's not my fault I have it, but I still feel like a burden. I'm a burden on my family. I'm a burden on my husband and my mom. My poor mother was So she's been through so much through this whole experience, and she's never left my side, and neither has my husband. And it doesn't tamper the guilt that it's not my fault. The guilt is still there. And it's something I'm dealing with internally, and I'm trying to become a stronger person for it. It's just that I don't know. Crohn's, people with Crohn's often get it more because they're smokers or drinkers. I've been drunk twice my whole life. I've never smoked. And I don't understand what I did to get this. It doesn't, I'm not depressed about it. Like, it happens, and I'm glad it's me. Out of my siblings and my family, I guess I can take it. I'd rather it be me. I'm already sick. I have MS, but I don't know why it had to happen at all. But it's another one of those emotional things I'm dealing with, is all. But yeah, basically I'm going to wrap up. I'm at 11 minutes here, I guess. I just wanted to say the whole story one more time. Probably post this on Facebook. The family catches it, and people on my DeviantArt who follow me, my followers, my friends, you guys can see this and you know the story. And I'll probably link this to a bunch of people that ask, because I don't want to keep explaining it, and it's a lot to explain. And it's not like it's going to be a secret. I have Crohn's disease. It's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Like with the MS, why keep it a secret? I'm going to have it. So I know my presence hasn't been on very well online or social. I'm pretty sure Samantha hasn't seen me forever. Sam, if you see this, I'm sorry. We haven't seen each other in so long. I miss you. And I haven't gone out, and I have pretty clothes in my closet I can't wear and go do things. It's not my life right now, and this is going to be my life, it seems. I'm going to be sick, and there's nothing I can do about it. But I do have hope for the future. I'm actually way better than I was, considering I was dying. Yeah, I'm a lot better, and I'm really happy that my mom can finally breathe, and it was Crohn's, not the other C word. We were scared for a while there, and I'm here. I'm alive. I made it. And that's a pretty big thing, I guess. And I'm sorry for everybody who this all happened and you're like, what? You didn't say anything? You didn't message me? It's not that I didn't want to message you or let you guys know. It's just, how do you go about doing it? Even me making this video, I feel kind of, I don't share. It's not my thing. But I'm sorry again. It's nothing personal that I didn't contact any of you and personally and that you know. It's just, even when I was in the hospital, I think only like a handful of people knew. And that was it. And again, anyone who did know I was sick and reached out and told me that they hope I get better, that means a lot. It does mean the world to me that you guys want me to get better and that you're here for me. Again, thank you again for my family, my mom, my husband, and everybody in the hospital. The staff was great. It was awful experience. I have a lot of holes, a lot of bruises. You can kind of see all the IVs. I had a lot of IVs in me, and I was pumped full of all kinds of stuff. I'm still kind of on a lot of drugs. I'm on steroids still. But, and I know I look messy because I haven't been having a lot of self-care lately. But I just want to thank everybody for everything. And all my friends that wished me well and have been so patient with me, and everybody in my life that I feel like I'm burdening. I just want them all to know that I love them, and it means everything to me. And if I have to live, I'm glad that it's with them. And I'm really happy that I made it, even though part of me inside feels like it's better if I wasn't around. I'm glad that fighting that is a lot easier with people like you guys, like my mom and my brother, my husband and my sister, my brothers, my dad. They constantly are here to tell me that they love me, and without them, I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't feel that way. And it means the world. It means the world to me for all of you. And I'm not ready to give up fighting my MS. I'm not done fighting. And I'm not done fighting my Crohn's now. That even though it is something else that sucks and I'm going to have to deal with, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to get stronger. I want to be the kind of person that can handle it. Even though I've been weak up till now, I need to promise myself, this my New Year's resolution this year is to fight it. And to get stronger and become a better person, a cleaner person, and more confident, because all of it has been breaking me down little by little, and I don't want it to get to me. I'm not going to be one of those that stop fighting. Thank you all again for taking time to talk to me, listen to me. It's been about 15 minutes. If you made it this far, you could have skipped around. I love all of you again, and thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot. Selena, signing out.